Mother Nature is still furious that humans have produced cameras, despite the fact that history has witnessed many terrible natural calamities, such as the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs and the devastation of Pompeii. This terrifying incident happened in Switzerland after a strong hailstorm caused mud to rush down the mountain. This event highlighted the dangers posed by the melting of glaciers due to climate change, as such catastrophic events are likely to become more frequent. The devastation in Bondo serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable and destructive power of nature, even in seemingly serene landscapes. Here's some terrifying footage of a tsunami luckily shot from a safe vantage point. From this safe viewpoint, the camera captures the sheer scale of the disaster as the wave relentlessly sweeps away everything in its path, boats, cars, and buildings, before pulling debris back into the ocean. The footage serves as a chilling reminder of how small and vulnerable humanity is in the face of nature's most destructive forces. Here's some amazing footage of another tsunami, but this time, a frozen one. The sight of ice behaving like a tidal wave is both mesmerizing and terrifying. Though it might not have the speed of a typical tsunami, the damage caused by this frozen force of nature was significant, proving once again that nature's power can take many unexpected and destructive forms. There's a lot of snow in Ontario right now, and if you look closely, you may see something that isn't white. What makes this snowstorm particularly memorable is the scale and speed at which it transformed the landscape. In a matter of hours, bustling neighborhoods became eerily silent and deserted, with only the occasional sound of wind howling through the snow-covered streets. The sheer volume of snow caused roofs to collapse and trees to snap under the weight, illustrating the immense power of this winter storm. Here's some more spectacular footage of the earthquake that occurred in California. The earthquake serves as a stark reminder of California's vulnerability to seismic activity. Despite advances in building codes and early warning systems, the footage from that day remains a sobering testament to the sheer power of the Earth's movements. What must pets think when an earthquake happens, especially if they live their entire lives in a non-shaking house? Earthquakes are terrifying for everyone, but for pets, they are especially disorienting. It's a scenario where they look to their owners for reassurance, hoping for the safety and stability that they usually take for granted. Take caution and avoid the window boy's window. The footage shows the panic and confusion as someone urgently shouts, "Get away from the window, boys." The fear in their voices is palpable as the tornado closes in, seemingly out of nowhere. The thing about tornadoes is that they often are surprises. Even with today's advanced warning systems, the exact path and timing of a tornado can be unpredictable, making every encounter feel like a shock. This was the day that a 7.2 earthquake in Alaska badly damaged a road, and a large number of tourists came to view the damage and record footage. Despite the danger, curiosity drew people to the site, eager to document the aftermath. They marveled at the destruction, their cameras capturing every detail of the Earth's violent transformation. It's one thing to hear about an earthquake in the news. It's another to stand on the fractured ground where the Earth itself has been violently torn apart. It's a little bit larger now, so you definitely wouldn't want to stop and take a closer look at it. The footage shows a monstrous twister churning up everything in its path, growing larger and more menacing by the second. This isn't the kind of tornado you would ever want to stop and get a closer look at. The sheer size and intensity of the storm are enough to send anyone scrambling for shelter. When the end of the world is waiting at your front door, in these moments, the ordinary turns extraordinary, and the line between safety and disaster becomes terrifyingly thin. The scene outside is one of utter devastation, a powerful storm or natural disaster in full force, obliterating everything in its path. It's the kind of moment that makes you feel incredibly small, standing on the edge of something so much bigger and more dangerous than anything you could have imagined. Here, a father's instincts kick in as he scoops up his daughter just as the 7.0 magnitude earthquake starts. It's moments like these that remind us of the incredible strength and resilience of the human spirit, especially when it comes to protecting loved ones. Even in the midst of a natural disaster as powerful as a 7.0 earthquake, This father's quick thinking and reflexes turned a potentially devastating situation into a moment of safety and security for his daughter. Everyone in this Mexican arcade entertainment facility instantly forgot about keeping their Pac-Man top score after a cyclone hit. The footage shows the moment the cyclone hits. Arcade machines that once beckoned players with their bright lights and familiar tunes are now being rocked by powerful winds. The sound of Pac-Man chomping through dots is drowned out by the roar of the storm outside. In an instant, everyone in the arcade forgets about their high scores and rushes to find cover. Here's some terrifying CCTV footage captured during the Palu earthquake and tsunami from inside someone's home. Sometimes, the most terrifying moments aren't captured by professional cameras, but by the ones meant to keep us safe, security cameras inside our own homes. In Palu, as an earthquake struck and a subsequent tsunami followed, CCTV footage from inside a house captured the chilling reality of living through such a disaster. When you watch these videos, it's not surprising at all that the terrifying La Palma volcano in Spain's Canary Islands inflicted extensive destruction. This footage serves as a chilling reminder of the destructive power of volcanoes. The La Palma eruption not only changed the landscape of the island, but also left a lasting impact on the lives of those who lived there. When you watch these clips, it's no surprise at all why this event caused such widespread devastation. Nature's fury was on full display, and there was little anyone could do to stop it. As this man's underwater lounge demonstrates, the floods on Brazil's north coast had a significant impact on people's homes. These floods didn't just disrupt lives, they destroyed them. Homes that had been built over decades were lost in minutes, and the very fabric of communities was torn apart. The footage from this disaster is haunting, showing the sheer helplessness of those caught in the flood's path. This scene illustrates the overwhelming power of water, a force that can submerge entire homes and leave nothing but ruins in its wake. The man's submerged lounge is a visual testament to the personal losses endured by so many during these floods. This video shows a fire volcano in Guatemala that is much closer but still very stunning. You can guess where the volcano gets its name. The fire volcano doesn't just make a name for itself with occasional eruptions. It's one of the most active volcanoes in Central America, continuously reminding the nearby population of its presence. Watching this footage, it's easy to understand why the locals have a healthy respect for this volatile giant. The power of nature on display here is a humbling reminder of how small and vulnerable we are in the face of such elemental forces. This Icelandic volcano is going to actually burst apart in front of us, displaying an amazing lava flow. This occurred following a record-breaking amount of earthquakes in a short period of time. This eruption wasn't just a brief event. It was part of a larger series of volcanic activity that had been building up for weeks. The earthquakes that preceded it were a warning of the dramatic events to come, and when the volcano finally gave way, it did so with spectacular results. Watching the footage, you can almost feel the heat and the raw energy of the earth as it reshapes the land in real time. This is nature at its most powerful, and it's a sight you won't soon forget. Those horses were chewing their oats that morning. They most definitely didn't anticipate having to confront a twister head-on. The footage captures the terrifying moment as the horses, seemingly oblivious at first, suddenly realize the danger barreling toward them. The serene scene quickly turns chaotic as the wind picks up and the twister comes closer. You can almost feel the tension as the animals start to sense that something is terribly wrong. So you find tornadoes frightening. How about a fire tornado? This was seen on camera during a destructive bushfire on Australia's Kangaroo Island. As if a bushfire wasn't already catastrophic enough, the fire tornado intensifies the devastation, spreading flames even faster and making it nearly impossible for firefighters to contain the blaze. Watching this fire tornado in action, you can't help but feel a deep sense of awe and fear at the sheer power of nature, as it unleashes one of its most terrifying forms. Imagine enjoying a peaceful day with your family, only to spot an enormous wall of dust looming on the horizon. This is exactly what happened in Australia, where a massive dust storm made its ominous approach, sending a family into a hurried scramble to prepare. Caught on camera, the scene is both surreal and terrifying. The sky darkens as the dust storm inches closer, consuming everything in its path. You can see the sheer magnitude of the storm as it rolls in like a colossal wave, ready to engulf everything. It would be an absolutely terrible catastrophe if you quit without subscribing. Act soon, before it's too late.